Good morning, one and all. In this today's video lesson, we are going to discuss regarding cycloconverters. Actually, in chapter 3, after completion of inverters, we are having cycloconverters. This topic we will discuss in detail in today's class. In the last class, we have discussed regarding inverters. Inverter is a device which will convert fixed DC into variable AC. That variation is with respect to the magnitude of voltage and frequency. And we have discussed the classification of inverters, and we have seen in detail regarding the operation of series inverter and parallel inverter. In detail, we have seen the operation of series inverter and parallel inverter. As the commutating components L and C are connected in series with load in series inverter, and the commutating component capacitor is connected in parallel with the load via center tap transformer in parallel inverter. So we have seen the operation of these series inverter and parallel inverter in detail in the last session. In today's class, we are mainly discussing on cycloconverter, definition of cycloconverter, and types of cycloconverters, classification of cycloconverter, and the operation of step down cycloconverter and operation of step up cycloconverter, and we will discuss some applications of cycloconverter. Actually, a cycloconverter is a device which will convert input power at one frequency to output power at different frequency. That is, it will convert the constant input frequency into output frequency. That means it will convert constant input frequency into output frequency. So in AC voltage controllers, we have seen conversion of AC from one form to another form. There we have maintained the frequency as constant, and we have varied the magnitude. And here in cycloconverter, it is also AC to AC converter. One form of AC will be converted into other form of AC. In that, the magnitude will not be disturbed. Magnitude will not be disturbed. The variation is with respect to the frequency. Variation is with respect to frequency. Suppose if you are operating with a single phase, generally the voltage and the frequency we are getting into ohms will be 230 volts and 50 Hz. The magnitude of voltage what we are getting is 230 volts for single phase, and the frequency we are operating at 50 Hz. So by using cycloconverter, we are not disturbing the magnitude, we are changing only frequency. That means it may convert it into a 230 volts 30 Hz frequency, or a 230 volts 55 Hz frequency. That means the frequency can be increased or decreased according to the operation of cycloconverter. Suppose if you are increasing the frequency of operation, then we are calling it as step up cycloconverter. If we are decreasing the frequency of operation, we are calling it as step down converter. We will discuss the operation of these two in detail in this next slides. So at the moment you accept cycloconverter is a device which will convert the input power at one frequency to output power at different frequency. So here we are varying the frequency. And coming to types of cycloconverters, these are mainly two types: step up cycloconverter and step down cycloconverter. In step up cycloconverter, the output frequency is greater than the supply frequency. The step down cycloconverter, the output frequency is less than the supply frequency. Step down cycloconverter, step up cycloconverter. And coming to classification, cycloconverters are classified into different ways. So according to output frequency, just now we discussed step up cycloconverter and step down cycloconverter. And according to supply voltage, so it will be classified into single phase to single phase and a center tapped transformer configuration. Center tapped transformer configuration. According to bridge configuration, three phase to three phase cycloconverter and three phase to single phase cycloconverter. So these things will be according to the classification. And coming to applications, so whenever we require change of frequency, whenever the operation of circuit requires change of frequency, then we are going with the cycloconverters. These are mainly used in speed control of high power AC drives, where we are using frequency control method to vary the speed. We are using this speed control of high power AC drives. We are using the cycloconverters. We are using induction heating and static VAR generation, electric traction, aircraft and shipboard power supplies. So these are the main applications of cycloconverters. We will discuss the principle of operation of cycloconverter. So this is the block diagram of cycloconverter, and in this we are having thyristor control devices, mainly SCRs. SCRs will be forming two groups. One is a positive group, the second one is negative group. A few thyristors will be forming positive group and another thyristors will be forming negative group. So once we are applying the input AC signal, by properly switching off this positive and negative group thyristors and properly turning on and turning off of these thyristors, we are sending the input supply AC waveform into load. load. So according to the requirement, if you want to increase the frequency, decrease the frequency. So accordingly, we are operating the thyristors in these groups, and we are getting the step up operation or step down operation of cycloconverter. This we are going to see in this next slides, how we are changing, how we are operating. With example, we will see. It mainly consists of two groups of rectifiers. One is a positive group and other is negative group. The positive group allows all positive half cycles and converts the negative half cycle half wave into positive half wave. The circuit diagram is shown in below figure, that we will show in the next slides. The negative group allows all negative half waves and converts positive half waves into negative half waves. The output voltage can be varied by firing angle of thyristors in both the group. By properly turning on the thyristors, we may get the required positive half cycles and negative half cycles in the output waveform by properly switching off thyristors. The input and output waveforms for a step down cycloconverter will be like this. So here this input voltage will be like this. It will be having this much frequency, and here we are reducing the frequency. That means for two input cycles we will get one output cycle. So here we are operated the cycloconverter as a step down, and the operating frequency will be reduced to half of the supply frequency. For two input cycles we got one output cycle. Okay, so how we are doing this operation we will discuss in the operation of step down chopper. So here we are converting this negative half cycle into positive half cycle. Similarly, this positive half cycle into negative half cycle, and we are allowing this positive half cycle here, we are allowing negative half cycle here, the same manner, and we are properly switching the thyristors which are in positive groups and negative groups. Just now you have seen the principle of operation of cycloconverters. So how we are switching, we are going to see in the next slides. SCR based step down cycloconverters does not require forced commutation, whereas step up cycloconverters requires forced commutation. Actually, in step down cycloconverter, if we closely observe this waveform, automatically the SCR will turn off after the waveform crosses its natural zero, and it will be automatically reverse bias. The thyristor which is in connection with the concerned half cycle, whether it may be positive or negative, accordingly the thyristor will automatically turn off. But in step up cycloconverter, for a given half cycle, given whether it may be positive or negative half cycle, we need to operate two components, two thyristor family components. We need to switch the two thyristor components, whether it may be T1 and T2 or T3 and T according to the requirement. For a given half cycle of supply voltage, we have to operate two components in the given half cycle. So half for a depending on required frequency, sometime one thyristor will be in conduction, for remaining other time some other thyristor will be in conduction. So here for a portion of time we have to operate with one thyristor and we need to turn off, and then after we need to switch on another thyristor and we need to turn off. So because of that we require forced commutation techniques. Step down cycloconverter does not require forced commutation technique, whereas step up cycloconverters requires forced commutation techniques. We are going to see. So when we will discuss step up cycloconverter, it will be more clear. The main drawback of this SCR cycloconverter are limited frequency of operation and poor power factor at low voltages. This is the drawback. We cannot vary the frequency too much. We can change the frequency, but that will be limited. The frequency change operation is limited, and if you are operating at low output voltages, the power factor will be very poor. So this is the drawback of SCR cyclo converters. As in step down cyclo converter, the output frequency is lower than supply frequency. And when it is operating at lower voltages, the power factor may be reduces. That is the drawback of these cycloconverters. We are going to discuss in detail. Transistorized switches are preferred in step-up cycloconverters. We are going to discuss very important topic: single phase center tapped cycloconverter. The operation of single phase center tapped cycloconverter. So here we are using a transformer called center tapped transformer. The specialty of this transformer is the secondary winding will be having two halves, and the voltage across each half will be equal to primary voltage. Suppose we are applying a 230 volts at the primary of this transformer, the same voltage will be appeared across VAC 230 volts and VCB 230 volts. Same voltage will be appeared. Okay, single phase center tapped cycloconverter. It is the circuit diagram, and it consists of four thyristors T1, T2, T3, T4, and the thyristors T1 and T2 will form positive group, and these thyristors T3 and T4 will form the negative group, and whenever the supply is positive half cycles, the thyristors. So here at this point A, we are getting positive. So this positive will forward bias thyristor T1 and thyristor T4. So we will switch on the thyristors T1 and T4 according to the requirement. And whenever the supply is negative, so here at this point we are getting, at B we are getting plus, and at A we are getting minus. So during negative half cycle, the thyristor, this minus will be appeared across thyristor T3, and T3 is forward biased. What about whenever this minus is appeared across T1? T1 is off. Similarly, this minus will turn off, off the thyristor T2, and this minus and plus. And here we are getting plus. This plus will turn off T2, turn on T2, and may forward bias T2, and this T4 will become off. So once again we will see, during positive half cycle, of supply, the thyristor T1, so here we are getting plus, and here we are getting plus. The thyristor T1 is forward biased and T3 is reverse biased. And positive half cycle, here plus, here minus. This minus will reverse bias T2, and it will forward bias T4. Okay. Minus will be connected to internal, so T4 forward bias. That means during the positive half cycle, we may turn on T1 or we may turn on T4, but we are not having any control of this thyristor T2 and thyristor T3. T2 and T3 are reverse bias. So during positive half cycle, we are turning on T1. When we turn on T1, the supply will be flowing through thyristor T1 and through load. Suppose we are assuming this plus and minus as sign convention, so we are getting a forward same output voltage across the load. If we turn on thyristor T4, then the current will be flowing opposite direction to the assumed current direction of the load. So output voltage will be negative half cycle. Even though the supply is positive, if you want to get the negative portion in the output, then we turn on thyristor T4. So accordingly, we will switch the thyristors, whether T1 or T4. Similarly, during negative half cycles, the thyristor T3 and T4 will be forward biased, and T1 and T4 are off. And we will properly switch T2 and T3 accordingly to get the required voltage. We are going to see with the respective waveform. So we will see in detail. Single phase center tap transformer configuration. The power circuit of single phase to single phase center tapped configuration is shown in above figure. The figure will be consisting of two groups of SCR. Positive half cycle of the output voltage will be generated by thyristors T1 and T2. Similarly, negative half cycle will be generated by the thyristors T3 and T4, T3 and T4. So in this, if we want to get the positive half cycle, we may turn on T1 and T2. If we want to get the negative half cycle, the output we may turn on T3 and T4 according to the requirement. We may turn on T3 or T4 according to the requirement. The output frequency generates by this type of cycloconverter may be one-third that of input frequency. The load is connected between point C and D as shown in figure. Actually, this is a center tapped transformer. At this midpoint of the center tapped transformer, and at this point D, the load is connected. And the positive group will be the point A is made positive with respect to point C. The positive half cycle of supply voltage. The SCR T1 is turned on. During the interval, SCR T2 remains off when point B is negative with respect to point C. Here, whenever during positive half cycle, this T1 is turned off, and here this point B is negative with respect to point C. In this case, the thyristor T2 is off. SCR T1 is turned on during the interval, the SCR T2 remains off, and the point B is negative with respect to point C. The load current flows through path A, thyristor T1, T, load, C and thyristor and point A during the interval. SCR T1 will automatically turns off during negative half cycle of alternative supply because point A is made negative with respect to point C. As SCR T2 is turned on, the load current flows from point B, SCR T2, D, load, point C and B. The SCR T1 again turns on during the positive half cycle and SCR T2 will automatically turn off during this time. The load current flows from supply to load during 3 half cycles of alternative supply. The voltage across load is equal to 1 half cycle, which is made by the combination of 3 half cycles of input supply. The output voltage of cycloconverter is adjusted by controlling firing angle of thyristor T1 and T2 and a negative group. The thyristors T3 and T4 will form the negative group, and the thyristors T3 and T4 receive gate pulses, and the gate pulse of SCR T1 and T2 are removed during negative group operation. When point B is made positive with respect to point C, thyristor T3 is switched instead of SCR T2, and the load current flows through path C, load, D and thyristor T3 AC. The direction of this load current is through path of load to supply side. Point A is made positive with respect to point C in the next half cycle, and at the time SCR T3 will automatically turn off and SCR T2, T4 is turns on, resulting the load current through path C, load, D, SCR T4, B and point C. SCR T3 will turn on and SCR T4 will turn off in the next half cycle, resulting voltage across load is equal to negative half cycle equivalent to 3 half cycle of the supply. The load current flows through load to supply side. Finally, we conclude that we receive only one complete cycle at the load for 3 complete cycles of input side. Therefore, output frequency is now one-third of input frequency. The output voltage of cycloconverter is adjusted by controlling the firing angle of SCRs. So this is the output and the input waveforms. So this figure A will show the input waveform and this will show the output waveform. Okay. So how we are getting, we will discuss once. So during this positive half cycle of input supply, if we closely observe in the circuit diagram, during positive half cycle, the terminal A is positive and terminal C is positive. Okay. So this time the thyristor T1 is forward biased and here we are getting minus and thyristor T4 is forward biased. So to get positive half cycle, same output across the load, we will turn on thyristor T1. So this supply voltage will be going through thyristor T1 and we are getting output voltage. So from point A to thyristor T1 and to point D, then load, again it will be going to point C. So this is how we are operating and current is in the same direction as supply voltage. So we are getting voltage. So for this positive half, we are getting positive half. For this negative half, actually we are getting step down. Step down means we need to reduce the frequency. To reduce the frequency, we need to convert this negative half cycle into positive half cycle. Okay, for that, during negative half cycle, please see here, during negative half cycle, so here minus and at point C minus, and this minus will reverse bias thyristor T1. It may forward bias thyristor T3, and here we are getting plus. This may forward bias T2 and it may reverse bias T4. So we have to turn on T2 or T3. But what we require? We require positive half cycle. To get positive half cycle, current has to go through load from right to left, the azimuth direction. For that, we have to turn on thyristor T2. So if we turn on thyristor T2, the current will go from point B of center taper transformer through thyristor T2 and from point D through load it will go to point C. In a similar manner, we are getting positive current direction in the step down operation. So for this waveform, for this negative half cycle, you are turned on thyristor T2. Similarly, as like for positive half cycle, we are turning on thyristor T1. So we got a positive half cycle. For these three half cycles, we got only one half cycle. Okay. For getting negative half cycle, the negative group thyristors T3 and T4 are responsible. T3 and T4 are responsible. So here, when the supply is negative, the thyristors, the supply is negative, here minus. So thyristor T3 and during this time T2 is here minus. So here plus. So T2 may be in forward bias. T3 and T4 may be in forward bias. But the current we require in the load is negative half cycle. So here we need to get plus and here we need to get minus. For that we need to turn on thyristor T3. So when we are turning on thyristor T3, current will be going from point C of center taper transformer through load and through point D. It will be going through thyristor T3 and it will be going to point A. So when the current is going in this path, we are getting negative half cycle of output across the load. So for this portion, So during negative half cycle, thyristor T3 we are turning on, the same voltage will be appeared here. Similar lines we are operating T4, T3 accordingly. So how much frequency we require? So depending on that, the thyristors which are responsible for positive group and negative group are switched. For switching on of the thyristors in the step down, we are using the gate firing circuit, and for turning off, we are using only natural commutation. So after the supply is passing this natural zero, the concerned thyristor will automatically turning off. Turning off. So this is the operation of the step down cycloconverter by using a single phase center tapped transformer. And we will see the step up cycloconverter. So here this is a step up cycloconverter, same circuit diagram. But if we see the output waveform frequency will be increased. So for this total cycle, we are getting how many cycles? 1, 2, 3, 4. So output will be increased to 4 times. F naught is equal to 4 times of Fs. So output frequency will be F naught will be equal to 4 times of supply voltage. Okay, to get that operation, uh, so for getting positive half cycles, thyristors T1 and T2 are responsible. For getting negative half cycle, thyristor T3 and T4 responsible. We have already seen. Okay, and during this positive half cycle, from the portion this 0 to T1. Okay, so we are turning on thyristor T1. Okay, so for that the current will be flowing from point A through thyristor T1. It will be going through load and it will be going up to point C. And at this portion, we are forcefully turning off thyristor T1 and we are turning on thyristor T2 because we need to get the negative half cycle. Negative half cycle. To get this negative half cycle, so during positive half cycle, so positive half cycle means at this point negative. So negative will forward bias thyristor T4. T4 will be forward biased. T4 is forward biased and we are giving firing signal for thyristor T4. So this will conduct and the current will flow from point C, center point of the center tap transformer through load, and through thyristor T4 it will go to back to supply. So this portion we are getting the half negative portion of the output, and T4 will be responsible. And from this point again we are switching on thyristor T1 by commutating thyristor T4. T4 will be switched off at this point T2 and T1 will be turned on, and similarly we are getting the positive portion. Similarly we are getting the turning on T4 by turning off T1, we are getting this negative portion. So by properly turning on of T1 and T4, we are getting this waveform during the positive half cycle of input supply. So during negative half cycle, here negative, here positive. So this minus will forward bias thyristor T3. Okay, so here we'll get plus. So this plus will forward bias T2. And we need to operate thyristor T2 and T3. To get positive portion of output, we have to turn on thyristor T2. To get negative portion of output, we need to turn on thyristor T3. Okay. So from this portion, assume this point, from this point to T4 instant, we need positive portion. To get positive portion, we have to turn on thyristor T2. Thyristor T2. So to get positive portion, we are turning on thyristor T2, and at this point we are turning off thyristor T2 and we are turning on thyristor T3. Then we are getting the negative portion of output, and we are repeating this process during the negative half cycle. If we closely observe, this positive portions of output will be getting by using thyristor T1 and T2. That's why these are forming the positive group, and these negative portions we are getting by using thyristors T4 and thyristor T3. So that's why these are forming the negative group of thyristors. So accordingly, we are getting the required output. In the output waveform, the frequency will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 cycles we are getting for a input cycle. So that's why the output frequency will be increased. It is a step up transformer. Output frequency will be increased to 4 times. So F naught will be equal to 4 into Fs. So this is the operation of step up cycloconverter. Same configuration, but switching instance of thyristors will be differ from the earlier one. It is the only cycloconverter in which commutation of SCRs is done by using forced commutation. The power circuit of step-up cycloconverter is shown in figure A. There are two groups of SCRs. One is T1 and T2, which generate positive half, and other T3 and T4, which generates negative half cycle. The output frequency of the cycloconverter is greater than the input frequency. That's why it is called a cycloconverter, step-up cycloconverter. Positive half cycle. The thyristor T1 is turned on during positive half cycle of alternating during time instant 0 to T1. Therefore, the current flows through path A, SCR-T1, D, load, and point C. The output voltage becomes positive and SCR-T1 is turned off by using forced commutation at time T1, then T4 is turned on. The load current flows through path C, load D, thyristor T4, and it will be going back to B. And the output voltage becomes negative during this time. Thyristor T3 is turned off at time T5 with forced commutation, and T2 is again turned on. This will result the output frequency become positive. The cycle completes in this way. The output frequency F0 is equal to 1 by T2 minus T1 Hz. The output frequency of cycloconverter F0 is always greater than the input frequency. So these are the waveforms. This is for supply waveform and this is for output waveform. In today's class, we have mainly discussed regarding cycloconverter. Cycloconverter is a device which will convert input power at one frequency to output power at different frequency. The output voltage of cycloconverter can be varied by varying the firing angle of thyristors. Applications we have seen. We will attempt a small quiz on this topic. Cycloconverters are used to step up or step down current, voltage, frequency, none. So it will changing the frequency. Cycloconverters are used to change the frequency of the input signal. In a single phase center tapped cycloconverters, SCRs are used. Here we are using 4 number of SCRs. So option is D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Option D, 4 number of SCRs we are using. In a dash, the output voltage of frequency can be controlled independent of each other. Option A, inverter. Option B, rectifier. Cycloconverter, chopper. So output voltage and frequency can be controlled independent of each other. So both will be controlled in cycloconverter. Especially we are varying only the frequency. We change the firing angle instant. Accordingly, we can change the magnitude also, but we are concentrating only on frequency in cycloconverters. In cycloconverters, the input power factor is dashed at the output voltage. So input power factor will be poor. The main drawback of this is power factor at which we are operating will be poor as we are changing the frequency. Cycloconverters are capable of transferring power in directions without additional circuitry. So it will change in either direction. Either direction we can change by properly turning on the thyristors in positive and negative group. In a dash, output voltage and frequency can be controlled independent of each other. Output voltage and frequency both can be changed in cycloconverters. Option C. The number of thyristors required for single phase center tapped cycloconverter into three phase 3 pulse cycloconverter are respectively. And then single phase cycloconverter center tapped transformer we are using 4, and for 3 phase 3 pulse we are using 6 thyristors. So option A. So on these cycloconverters, generally asked questions are define the define and list out the types of cycloconverters. Explain the operation of simple single phase cycloconverters. Then generally these are asking. So for this we have to write the definition. A cycloconverter is a device which converts input power at one frequency to output power at different frequency. And the types are mainly two types based on operation. It is a frequency changer, one stage frequency changer, and it will be mainly two types: step down cycloconverter and step up cycloconverter. In step down cycloconverter, the output frequency is lower than the supply frequency. In step up cycloconverter, the output frequency is greater than the supply frequency. In a simple single phase cycloconverter, we have to explain the operation of this midpoint center tapped transformer cycloconverter, and we have to explain how we are converting this input frequency into other frequency. Okay, we have to draw the connection diagram, and we have to draw the waveforms, and we have to clearly mention the switching waveforms. We need to explain the operation in detail. So this is a question. It will be asked frequently on cycloconverter, and this is regarding cycloconverters. If you have any questions, you will feel free to ask questions, and further later also you can ask by putting a question in the comment box, so that we will discuss in the next class. Thank you all of you for your patient listening.